Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Grimlock video. This will be my tier list so far for the season of 10.1, season 2 of Dragonflight. These are going to be just my opinion on what I think is really good, what I think is really bad for the game. So just to start things off, obviously all the tanks, they're horrible. I mean, if you're playing a tank, you gotta cut that out. You gotta cut that out mad quick because tanks are not the move. I'm just gonna rename this tanks actually. Can I spell? There you go. All right, and let's just get into the classes, I guess. So Frost Death Knight. I play a bunch of Frost Death Knight, as you guys all know. I don't think Frost Death Knight's very good. I think it's kind of gimmicky, especially this season. It feels good with Devastation Evoker, and that's it. Maybe TSG, maybe with a Warrior, might be pretty good, but I don't know. So I'm gonna put it C. I don't think it's that good outside of Devastation Evoker, and Devastation Evoker's pretty good, but it's not that great. Maybe. No, I think it's C. I just don't think it's that good. I'd say Unholy's a little bit better, but I don't think it's better. I don't think it's that great either. I think it's really good with like Havoc, maybe even a Ebola Cleave with a Feral Druid. Feral Druid's pretty good right now. I could see Walking Dead being pretty good, but again, it's such a caster heavy meta right now with locks being so good that I don't think these are gonna be. I mean, DK's great in the casters and all, but they're just so squishy right now. So I don't know. But I played against a recent decent amount of Havoc Demon Hunters lately. I'd say Havoc probably falls under the A tier. I feel like it's really good. It does a lot of damage, but it does die. It can die pretty quick if you're not good at Havoc. I think the Fell Lance thing is really strong, and it's really good with our next class here, Boomy, which is definitely S tier. Super good class. Does a ridiculous amount of spread pressure, does a ridiculous amount of single target damage, does pretty good off heals. It can live for a while with Bear Form and Frenzy Regen. Super good. This comp right here, though, Havoc Demon Hunter and Boomy, definitely an S tier comp if you're going to play really good. Feral Druid, kind of low-key good. I think it could be A, but I'm gonna put it in B because I haven't fought against a lot of them, and the ones that I have fought against I beat pretty decisively, so I didn't get to see them that much. Like Jungle Cleave, I saw Jungle Cleave, and that was pretty decent. I feel like Survival Jungle Cleave might be better than BM Jungle Cleave. I think BM's not that good anymore, honestly. I think BM might be C tier as well. We'll put it there for right now, but let's go to the Resto Druid. So let's see, Resto. Resto is low-key good. I think it's really good with casters in general. I feel like God Comp is really good, like Shadow Priest Fire Mage or Shadow Priest Frost Mage Resto. I feel like that's actually pretty good. So I feel like it might be B tier. None of the healers really feel bad, I guess you could say. Maybe Holy Paladin. I don't know. I feel like even Holy Paladin's pretty good with specific comps. But yeah, so B tier for Resto Druid. Devastation Evoker. Like I said, its main comp is Frost DK Devastation Evoker, and with Frost DK not being that great, it's like, eh. I kind of feel like putting Unholy up here because I feel like Unholy is just better than Frost DK. But Unholy did receive kind of a big nerf, and I haven't really seen anyone playing it. I think I'll put it here, though. Yeah, I guess I'll put it back where it was. But anyways, Devastation Evoker. I do think Devastation Evoker has some really good hidden comps, like Devastation Evoker Ellie. Super good. I swear, it's crazy good. The off healing is insane from those two. Like, Devastation Evoker heals for so much damage. It heals for a lot. And it has good kite potential, and if you're going after the Devastation Evoker, you're leaving the Ellie open to free fire. If you're going after the Ellie, you're leaving the Devastation Evoker to free cast heals and also do a lot of damage. So it's a pretty good sound comp if you know how to play double caster. So Devastation I would actually put in A, maybe high B. I'd say high B because the comps it plays, like for instance, Devastation Evoker Frost DK would get slaughtered by Boomy Havoc Demon Hunter right now. Most likely. I mean, if you're good at playing. Like, for instance, their entire go can be stopped just by the Demon Hunter's Darkness. That kind of stuff is really detrimental when your entire go gets stopped by one single character's ability. It's really hard. To be fair, Darkness is really good. But anyways, Preservation, low key really good. Definitely better than Resto Druid. I'd say it's probably A tier. I feel like it might be S tier with the certain comps, but Preservation Evoker is really hard to play because it's so short range compared to other healers, and a lot of healers like to just sit back and like PvE heal. But I feel like Preservation's low key really good. Survival Hunter, very good. It hits kill shots for like 150k consistently, and it hits explosive shots for like also 130, 140k. And if you line up the explosive shots with like volley, I don't know, I think it's volley, something like that, you can like AoE explosive shot. If that's still in the game, I think it is. But either way, I've gotten hit for easily 70% of my health in one global because the explosive shot and kill shot hit at the same exact time, and it just slaughters you. So I think I'm gonna put them up here under preservation because their comps aren't that good right now. Because a lot of casters are good and a lot of hunters don't play with casters really. I think a good comp that's like really low key underrated is KFC with Arms Warrior, like Arms Warrior, Survival Hunter, Disc Priest, or Arms Warrior, Survival Hunter. Like even Preservation Evoker could be pretty good because you're all close range there. It's hard to say. I feel like the thing is though with that is like if you're gonna play Survival Hunter and play KFC, you almost might as well just play Turbo Cleave because Turbo Cleave's just infinitely better. But I mean, you know, you could probably push pretty high with Survival KFC, I'd say. Marksman I haven't fought against a lot. I feel like it's super cheesy and really easy to shut down. Even easier to shut down than Frost DK's damage. So realistically, I think it's a little bit better than maybe it's not as good as BM actually. I don't know. It's definitely right next to BM, but I feel like Hunter in general is kind of like not that great outside of Survival. And even Survival is kind of gimmicky. It might be B tier instead. It's definitely low A tier. Arcane is definitely the worst mage spec right now by far. It's probably better than Marks, but less good. Less good. Worse than BM. I'd say Fire is significantly good. I don't think it's S tier. I think it's A tier if anything. It's really good. It does so much damage even after the fix for their ignite. I play Fire RMP right now, and Fire it feels really good. It feels pretty solid, and I'm new to playing Mage, so that's saying something. Also, Frost is really good. I would say Frost is probably a little bit worse than Fire, but pretty much the same. Like you can do the same amount of similar amount of damage, I would say, as Fire. Maybe not as bursty, but more consistent, and you have 2 blocks, which is really, really nice. You don't have Cauterize, obviously. There's like win trades for each, but I would say both are really good, probably in the same spot. Like if it could overlap these, I probably would. Mistweaver, Caster Mistweaver right now is very good. I would actually put it in S tier. Caster Mistweaver, you can keep people alive. Their throughput healing is insane, and their cooldowns are really detrimental. So for instance, if you're running like Havoc, if you're running Boomy Havoc and Mistweaver, for instance, and you're playing against Frost DK, Devastation Evoker, Disc Priest, which is pretty standard. When the DK pulls you into the Freezing Sleep, the monk can either instantly teleport it, like mid Death Grip, which has happened to me a bunch of times. It's super annoying. Or the like the Demon Hunter can Darkness it. The Mistweaver can Renewal it or Restoral, depending on what talent you're playing. Restoral is really good because you can use it while stunned. I think that's how it works. I'm honestly not sure. I don't play Monk, but yeah, you can do so many things to just shut down that comp, and they can't do anything to shut down your damage. Your damage is just free for the entire game. You like just AoE cleave them to death, and they're both super squishy. So, like, really, realistically, Boomy Havoc should always beat Devastation Frost DK, in my opinion, unless if you're like really bad at Boomy, I guess. Boomy can die pretty easily if you're bad at it. But anyways, moving on to our next one, Windwalker, super low key good. I would actually, I think I'm gonna put it above Mage. It's kind of a hard say because it's a really, really high skill cap, really hard skill ceiling too. Like if you're really, really good at Windwalker, you'll be super good. If you're not, you'll be kind of bad. If you want to watch a really good Windwalker, I would suggest going to watch like Thuy. Thuy's ridiculously good. He streams on Twitch. He also posts YouTube videos. He's very good at Windwalker. But like that's an example of somebody that's pretty scary on that class, and its burst is wild. It can do like 200k DPS in a single stun if you sit a stun. So it's pretty scary, pretty good. I would put it here just because Windwalker Boomy is a comp and Boomy is so good. Also, Windwalker Lock is a comp and locks are so good. So like the fact that that works out that way is really good. Low key, I think Windwalker Enhance is probably one of the more broken comps in the game, but nobody's playing it for some reason. And I think it's probably because they're really squishy and they don't have a lot of like peel ability. But I think Windwalker Enhance is crazy because if you are playing Enhance, you can Bloodlust a Windwalker really good. You know, vice versa. It's pretty crazy. But either way, Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin's probably in B tier. I would say it's a little above Resto. I honestly, so to be fair, guys, I haven't played with a lot of Resto Druids or against a lot of Resto Druids, and I know their Life Bloom is buffed, and it ticks for like 80k or blooms for 80ks or whatever, and it's really good. But I haven't seen enough of them to know really where it lies. So that's why I'm kind of putting it in this like middle category because it could actually be like S tier, or it could be like worse. But I'm just gonna put it in the middle category. I think it's probably close to Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin has so many buttons that I think it's an absolute monster in twos. In threes, it's a little harder because like you'll run through your cooldowns really good or really fast, and there's so much AoE damage going out right now between like Boomy, Destro Lock, Havoc Demon Hunter, Frosty K, Evoker, like those types of comps. Like anything that does AoE damage, Holy Paladins struggle to heal through. I feel like so that's probably why it's not very like. I feel like Holy Paladin's definitely one of the lower tier healers, though it is good. It's not terrible. Ret Pally, they're not their former self, but they are still very good. I'd put them above Mage just because of the comps they can play. Maybe like I feel like Mage is only like really good with maybe Mage Lock and Mage Rogue, maybe even Mage Boomy if you're like willing to just PvE damage the entire game instead of polying. But I feel like Mage has like a very limited amount of comps compared to Ret, whereas like Ret can play Ret Warrior, Ret DK, which isn't ideal, and then like Ret, Lock. It could play so many good comps like that. Ret Rogue even. Ret Sub Rogue is actually kind of scary right now. So there's definitely comps where Retribution Paladin can shine. And I feel like it does a lot of damage. Like everything it presses still hits for over 100k, which is scary. Anything that can do like over 100k back to back is pretty good. I.e. Star Surge, and like everything here, literally everything in this row can do over 100k in two globals. So yeah, Disc Priest. I think Disc Priest is probably the best priest healer. I mean, I think it's better than Holy by far. But I think Holy's getting some crazy buffs tomorrow, and with those buffs, Holy might be better. So this tier list might be a little adjusted by tomorrow. But either way, Disc Priest, very good. I would say Disc Priest is probably on par with Preservation, maybe a little bit better than Preservation, maybe higher than Mage even technically. So yeah, I put Disc Priest here. It's pretty good. It's not S tier. I think Mistweaver is really good. Maybe it is S tier. It's really good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put Disc Priest S tier. It's very good because it matches well with everything. Like everything does so much damage. You just play Dark Arc and you power infuse the Boomy, or you power infuse the Ret or the Windwalker, and you just nuke everything in sight. It's good with RMP. It's good with Devastation Frost DK. It's good with Jungle. It's basically good with every comp in the game right now. Like Disc just matches well. Same thing with Mistweaver though. Holy Priest, I haven't seen a lot of. But I have a feeling they're better. I think they're better. Like they're probably like high B tier. Jesus, there you go. I think they're high B tier. I don't think they're better than Preservation Evoker. I swear Preservation Evoker is really good. It can heal for like a lot, and you can live for a long time if you know how to play with a Preservation Evoker. Also, I don't think people have gotten down using their like Deep Breath as a wall, because if you can hit through it and the enemies can't, and you just wall off your like team and you're playing double caster or something, you can like out double caster other double casters by just walling them off, and then you're basically like ice walled off, and you can shoot through the wall. Like your team can shoot through the wall, but they can't shoot through the wall, which is really good. I don't know if people have just tested that out or not, but I feel like that could be really good if played well. It's almost like a smoke bomb for your whole team for like 8 seconds, which is kind of crazy. Could be really good. But yeah, sorry, I got us sidetracked with that. Disc Priest, very good. Shadow Priest, crazy good as well. I would say Shadow Priest is A tier. I'd say it's one of the better. This is hard. I'd say it. I'd say it's about there. It's probably equal with Mage. It might be a little bit worse than Mage because of the comps it plays, but personally, I think it's so tanky that it is better than Mage. It also does a ridiculous amount of damage. Like, Void Torrent hits super hard. Disperse is really good. Life Swap's really good. Power Infusion's really good. So, and they also cleave pretty hard. They're pretty solid. I would say they're pretty equal to Fire Mage right now. So, there's that. I have not played against like a single Assassination Rogue, which is crazy. Everybody's going sub right now. But I swear Assassination's actually kind of low-key good because a lot of people swapped off Dark Iron Dwarf, and now your bleeds actually stay on people. So, and with Holy Paladins not being like crazy good, bops don't happen so frequently, and rets are like hit or miss. So ret is really what counters the Sin Rogue super hard. So like with Boomy being good, Sin Rogue is pretty good. But really, if you're going to play like a Sin Rogue style, you'd probably want to play Feral. I feel like Feral is actually probably better than where I put it. I think Sin Rogue is probably around here too. But I think Feral is better than Sin Rogue in most situations that you would play Sin Rogue right now. Like with a Mage, like I think if you played FMP compared to RMP with a Sin Rogue, probably struggle. I think sub RMP is way better than Sin Rogue RMP. But anyways, that's how I feel about Sin Rogue. Outlaw I think is kind of garbage. Again though, I haven't seen enough of it to really judge it, but just based on like what I know about Outlaw, I feel like it's kind of trash right now, which is a shame. But Sub Rogue I would say is better than Windwalker. Definitely super good. Plays really well with Mage, plays really well with Lock, plays really well with Boomy. I mean, it's iffy with Boomy. I think the fact that Boomy breaks so much CC, it struggles with. But if the Boomy player has like kind of control over their buttons, you won't have too bad of an issue with it, I don't think. It's also, it enables a lot of classes, so like it'll enable hunters to kind of thrive a little bit. It's pretty good. I would say Sub Rogue is definitely A tier, especially because if something trinkets, you can just 100-0 it in a shadowy duel by yourself most of the time, which is pretty crazy. We got Elemental Shaman. I play Elemental Shaman. I've also played Enhanced Shaman, and both specs are really good in my opinion. I would say Ellie belongs above Sub Rogue. It's probably the third best caster in the game. I'd say it's the third best caster in the game, behind Boomy Lock. It's really good. It's kind of a struggle though. I feel like Shadow Priest could be like these two places could be swapped. Like Ellie could be where Shadow is, and Shadow could be where Ellie is, depending on the comp you're playing. But Ellie is very good. I feel like Ellie Sub Rogue is super hidden. Ellie Windwalker, very very good. Ellie Windwalker Disc, super scary comp because you like power infuse the Ellie Sky Furies, and in a single leg sweep you just kill like the entire team if they actually are in the leg sweep. And you can kind of like redirect people with Static Field Totem. I don't know. I feel like that comp is really gross if you dial it in and play it for a long period of time. Either way, Enhance, super good. Enhance is probably the best spec in the game besides Boomy. It's like equal to Boomy. It might be better than Boomy though, because it has so much one-shot potential that's like really, really scary for a lot of teams. And it has a lot of survivability with its new buffs. So I think it's definitely hand in hand with Boomy. Boomy just does so much damage; it's unreal. Resto Shaman. Resto Shaman I haven't seen a lot of. Again, it's kind of like Resto Druid to me, but I feel like its toolkit is really good. So I'm gonna put it at a high B tier. And then Affliction Lock. I played against a couple of Affliction Locks. They're kind of garbage. I feel like in threes you can definitely out-heal Affliction Lock's damage pretty consistently, but it's not terrible. Probably going to put it above Priest, like H-Priest. Put it under Sin Rogue because I think Sin Rogue is good. Demonology, very good. I'd probably put this one here because its damage can get shut down really easily with roots, which roots are super, super big in the game right now. There's so much AoE cleave in the game right now. Also, their pets I feel like don't do as much damage as they were doing. Demonic Tyrant is super easy to shut down. You just like, kidney it every single time it comes out, and it's pretty much over. It's pretty easy to counter a Demo Lock now. Destrolock, however, is not easy to counter at all. It is disgusting, super good. Still, even after the nerfs, it's really good. It just does a ridiculous amount of damage, and it's instant cast most of it. The casts that it does do are on like the fire school, you know, immolate and incinerate. So when you kick and immolate or incinerate, they just free cast chaos bolts. If you don't kick, incinerate, and immolate, incinerate does like 80k damage on top of the instacast, conflag, and instacast shadowburn. So they're just hitting you for like 120k every single time they cast an incinerate, because they just incinerate into a conflag or conflag into an incinerate and vice versa. So if you don't kick it, you die. If you kick it, you die. Horrible. It feels horrible to play against Destrolocks. And they're immortal. They're really hard to kill. They have Dark Pact, which is a minute cooldown, but it absorbs like, I don't know, 400k damage. It's pretty ridiculous. And they have Hellstone. They have Portal. They have Gate. They have Aura Mastery, which is a shield wall. They have so much stuff to live. It's disgusting. And they have a spammable CC. They're, like, if you're playing Boomy Destro right now or Destro Enhance, kind of gross. I swear. You're kind of scummy, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little crazy. But moving on to our last class here, we got Warrior. Arms Warrior, still really good. Plays super well with Enhance. I think it's less good than Fury though, and for that I'm gonna put it right next to Ellie there. But Warrior can play with a lot of classes. Warrior can play with Ellie. Warrior can play with Havoc Demon Hunter. Warrior can play with Enhance. Warrior can play with Destro. Warrior can play with Windwalker. Warrior can play with Ret. Like literally every one of these classes he can play with. This entire tier he can play with, like a Warrior can play with, which is really good. And I think Fury is probably the highest A tier. It's borderline. I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's better than Havoc. Maybe. I think Havoc is better, but I haven't fought against a lot of Havoc, so it's hard to tell. I just know that Havoc is really good. So I'm gonna put them there. I think that's how I'm gonna organize it. I'm gonna look this over really quick. It feels wrong to put Death Knight as the worst class, like worst specs in the game, but I actually swear it is. It is really, really easy to like. Maybe Arcane is worse. Arcane is really bad. And Outlaw. I think Outlaw is kind of bad too. So maybe that. I think this is it. Survival Hunter though, really good. Kind of low key. There's a lot of classes here that are low key good that people aren't realizing right now. And so yeah, that's my tier list for 10.1. Obviously, leave a comment below if you enjoy this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. I'm going to be posting a guide probably this week on one of my classes, whether it's Ellie, Frosty, K, Shadow Priest. It'll probably be Shadow Priest because I've been playing a bunch of Shadow Priests lately. I've also been playing Fire Mage, so there's that. I do want to get an Ellie guide out there though for you guys because I know you guys like Ellie content, and I like playing Ellie. It's just I don't play Ellie a lot right now. There's not a lot of people playing Ellie. But I might play Ellie Windwalker with my teammate for the memes because he has a Windwalker, and that would be kind of fun to mess around with. So we'll test it out. But either way, guys, this is my tier list. I'll see you guys soon. Also in the description, you're going to see a link to my Discord. Please feel free to join it. We'll talk, we'll chat, we'll have a good time. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Crazy. Like, I swear that's actually really good. This kid just dies in the opener, I swear, but...
I'll sap the ret.
Okay. Beautiful. Oh, Hunter's on me right here. I'm gonna breath him out.
I got a re.
I got the bop off.
Ooh.
Oh my god.